So, good morning, all. I am Sanskar Mitra, your sergeant at arms for the club today, and my duty is to uh, fulfill all the is to inform all of us about the rules and regulations which we have to follow in our club. So, welcome to the meeting of 311 of the Bright Beginnings Toastmasters Club. I am Sergeant at Arms of the club today. The mission of Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication skills and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence. To ensure this, please follow some certain ground rules. Please ensure all cell phones are on mute. You have 10 seconds to do so. Please speak responsibly about religion, sex, or politics in your speeches. Use the feature of raising a hand, applause, and thumbs up when needed. Don't use Zoom messaging in between the speeches until required. Until not required, please put yourself on mute during the meeting. And if you're playing the role, no need to recheck whether your profile is whether you are audible or not. One of us will let you know if your sound is coming or not. Please make sure all the role players have added their role names as prefix to the real name and suffix to the username of the meeting. You have 10 seconds to recheck and implement if missed. With that, I'll hand it over to our presiding officer for the club, Toastmaster Vidhu.
It's me today,
Oh, it's
Toastmaster.
you. Okay.
Yeah.
Toastmaster Anshuman.
All right. Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Sanskar, and welcome everyone to another exciting meeting of Bright Wing Toastmasters Club. Thank you for taking your time off or on a Saturday morning to learn all about public speaking and leadership skills. We have soon to be Toastmaster Rajiv, who's joined us as a guest today. So, soon to be Toastmaster Rajiv, do you want to introduce yourself to the club?
Yeah, hi, Rajiv here. So a brief introduction would be, well, a typical interview answering session. Been in IT industry for 25 years. Um, have done 4 masters in various fields, including MBA, artificial intelligence, machine learning. Currently, I'm trying to open up my own venture or looking for new opportunities as a leader. Meanwhile, I also think Toastmaster will add good, uh, good inputs to me in terms of public speaking and general presentation. Hence, I intend to become a Toastmaster in the near future. Thanks. That's the introduction about me. Any questions are welcome.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Rajiv. We'd love to sync up with you and connect to learn more about you, plus join you in the journey of leadership and public speaking. All
Thank you.
right. Thank you. So today we're going to start with something different than usual, which is a brief learning session. In terms of learning, one of the most often questions whoever is mentoring or guiding for speeches is what topic of speech one should choose, right? That Anshuman, what is the next speech title I should take? I'm like, your entire life is a library of speeches, be it your school, college, workplace, be it your anything you're learning, anything, any space you're growing, anything you're observing at your home, in your society, in malls, on the roadway. Anything and everything can be a speech title. But I discovered a few frameworks of how that can be made easier, and that is what I want to present today to all of us in one of the newest forms, like new, not literally new, which is Instagram. So might be difficult to, I think, go back, go front. So please take a note of it. So this is basically communication archetypes of what content you can create personally. So please do focus on what you can create in terms of content.
If you think out loud and talking on the fly is
Let me restart it. Can you
easier, and I'd recommend you these formats.
Can you hear the audio? Perfect.
Yes, yes.
If you think out loud and talking on the fly is easier than following a script, you're a conversationalist, and I'd recommend you these formats. If you naturally explain things through moments and memories instead of facts, you're a storyteller, and I'd recommend you these formats. If you have strong opinions about your industry and feel the need to challenge the status quo, you're a contrarian, and I'd recommend you these formats. If you can't help but make your content fun and creative, you're an entertainer, and I'd recommend you these formats. If you're naturally vulnerable and love involving people in your journey, you're a documentarian, and I recommend you these formats. If you always lead with proof, experience, or research, you're an authority, and I'd recommend you these formats. If your instinct is to connect with your audience where they're at before showing them what's possible, you're a peer, and I'd recommend you these formats. And if you're not sure which one you are, check the caption. If your brain naturally
So I think you got the essence of what she's trying to say, right? And now I'll pause on each of those eight so that we're able to capture it well. So what the intent here is that whatever our personality type is the kind of content we can create. So if, for example, we are good at creating steps, step one, step two, step three, step four, step five, so we can be a great teacher. So, for example, I'm learning to play video games, say Counter Strike, and I'm stuck of how to move the aim, how to go through the field. If there's a great teacher, he or she might be able to dissect one, two, three, four, five. Anshuman, do this, do that, do this, do that, and you'll be a great player. So maybe that might not be my strength, but might be your strength, and that may help you create content which is invaluable for your peers and everyone else. So now I'll pause on each of these. Please do note down what resonates with you, and then we'll quickly do like a round table to check like what exactly is your strength. I hope that's clear. All right, now I'll play and pause in each of the archetypes.
turns everything into steps and systems, you're a teacher, and I'd recommend you these formats.
So if you're good at breaking down things into steps, then you are a teacher. You can be a good teacher, and you can build tutorials, easy hacks, if X then Y framework, comprehensive breakdowns, rankings, and be a caveman. Be in private, reflect on life, and do stuff.
If you think out loud and talking on the fly is easier than following a script, you're a conversationalist, and I'd recommend you these formats.
So if you're good in conversations, go with the flow, good in table topics. For example, table topics always reminds me of Toastmaster Mayank. So I think Mayank is a great conversationalist if I have to put him on spotlight. So then you can be good at yapping on content, storytelling. You will be a great storyteller, great in podcast, taking hot takes, multitasking, and developing easy hacks.
If you naturally explain things through moments and memories instead of facts, you're a storyteller, and I'd recommend you these formats.
So we have to double down on being a storyteller. So if you're able to bring up great memories, things of the past, emotions, then you're a great storyteller. So you can get into storytelling, being transformative. B-roll voiceover is basically any kind of advertisement. You can put your voice over the advertisement. Uh, Build a green screen, multitask, yap.
If you have strong opinions about your industry and feel the need to challenge the status quo, you're a contrarian, and I'd recommend you these formats.
Yeah, if you have strong opinions about your industry, about the things you do, about your environment, then you can be kind of a contrarian. So you can build reaction videos, have green screen, hot takes, question and answer, build rankings. This is better than this is better than this versus that, and build a podcast.
Formats. If you can't help but make your content fun and creative, you're an entertainer, and I'd recommend you these formats.
I think this is typical like TikTok, Instagram content, right? Like if you want to entertain people, good at entertaining, then you're gonna be teacher student, have your series itself, challenge, build challenges, have parody skits, yap.
If you're naturally vulnerable and love involving people in your journey, you're a documentarian, and I recommend you these formats.
So if you're open about your life, you want to share, you're vulnerable, then you can build your own behind the scenes series, journey series, a vlog, have put in challenges.
If you always lead with proof, experience, or research, you're an authority, and I'd recommend you these formats. If you're
Yeah, if you, okay, I skipped that, but basically, authority, if you're an authority in industry, then you can build your podcast, have articles.
instinct is to connect with your audience where they're at before showing them what's possible, you're a peer, and I'd recommend you these formats.
yeah, like if you want to take people along the journey in something you're learning, you're kind of like a peer, and you can use these formats. All right, I hope that's clear. Now I want to know from you all individually, um, which are the personal archetypes you resonate with and feel is your strength. Anyone wants to take a stab first, or should I go random?
I can go first.
Yes, Sanskar.
So, I believe I can be a storyteller. I want to be a conversationalist more, and I aspire to be because I'm still in a position where I still am a lot of like this introvert energy inside myself, which I have to kind of let it out loose and get moving out of my comfort zone and start speaking with people and be a conversationalist more than a storyteller. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Tusman Sanskar. I want to know what resonates currently with you, not what you aspire to be.
Okay.
Currently, what is your most natural?
It would be a storyteller. Yes. I like to yap a lot.
Okay,
I make people disinterested with my stories sometimes, and it also quite forms a so yapping doesn't go with everyone. If you're with friends, then it's okay. But if you just start spewing things and in the first impression, then maybe uh, maybe people would get bored a lot, and that is what I don't want to be. But yes, I
got
am
it.
a storyteller. Yes, that is what.
Got it. So maybe you can build it as your strength. That you can see like how great storytellers build their content, and that is something you can hone in your life also. Got it. Tosma Nancy, you're on mute.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Now, yeah, you're on.
I could not resonate myself to any of these, but to some extent, the storyteller, because talking about first, it was step by step. I don't do that as well. And storyteller, also, I would not say I am very good at it. I'm learning. But little bit, I would say point number second, storytelling and all these things were little bit, I mean, I could resonate too. But
Got it.
I think I'm not best at it.
Yeah, I think we all are learning, and at Toastmaster, I
Yeah.
think a lot of us resonate with storytelling.
Hmm.
So that's great. So Vidhu,
Yeah, I think I resonate more on sharing an opinion, like a point of view or challenging the status quo. Because I usually come directly to the point, and that's where I always feel that I need to build some kind of background to it. Yeah, that was what the current format is.
got it, and that's so true, right? Like I think if you remember when Toastmaster Aryan asked for an opinion once about something happening regarding the finance piece, I had connected with you, and your opinion was so precise. I was like, oh my god, how's Vidhu able to be so clear when we all are like just brainstorming, discussing? So that may definitely be one of your strengths. So, that is, yeah, I agree.
But I want to be a storyteller, so that's where the journey has to be.
Or maybe not. Maybe you might want to build upon your strength and bank upon building more content around, as like speeches and content around what's your core strength, which all of us don't. So we'd love to hear from you hot takes and contrarian opinions, or so, like that can be a primary, then secondary might be storytelling. But thank you for sharing. Satyaket,
Uh, so I resonate with the storytelling part of it, which is basically the signature story more so because I, especially with the friends and couple of subordinates or colleagues, I'd like to be uh, vulnerable and clear such that people are free to communicate, especially at your workplace. So that is why I resonate with the storytelling part of it. But this is all behind in my head. However, how it lands on the audience is something that I'd like to work upon, especially on the signature stories and on the event stories. That is something that I'm working upon. So yeah, that's
amazing.
about it.
Yeah, I think you have this easiness in you, which I think resonates so at least over Zoom. And I can imagine you being like a great storyteller, even a great conversationalist, like which was I think second category. Yeah, like completely resonate with what you say. Rajiv, were you able to resonate with any of these categories?
Well, I would say it's a mixed bag out here, and I cannot specifically point out which one I resonate with, but I can definitely say that I do not resonate with conversationalist, not a yapper, entertainer, not for sure. But the rest, to my mind, it's a mixed bag of things. So, yeah, I resonate with all of them except for entertainer and conversationalist. I cannot yap. Um,
Right. It
I'm
can be a
confused, sort of.
yeah, makes so much sense. It can be a combination of multiple strengths, and it's usually an intersection between say two or three or four. But through the process of elimination, I can see like you've arrived at this is not who I am. But maybe amongst the few which you resonate with, if you want to venture into say developing your own speeches or content, maybe you can pick up one or two and build it as your primary, detailing it out and going ahead with it. Thank you for sharing. Uh, Ram, did you join on time to hear us out, or did you hear the video? Do you know
Yes,
your
yes, yes.
strengths?
I saw
Okay,
the video. Hi everyone, Ram this side. This is my first session with Toastmasters, and so far so good. So if
amazing.
I were to pick my choice amongst the couple of very good choices that you have given to us, I would pick a perfect blend of conversationalist and a storyteller. That being said, I've always loved to express and talk to more people, and storytelling is something that I see that the modern age has adapted real well. Like I come from a commerce background, so I see a lot of brands today carrying storytelling. You know, if you're able to sell yourself or if you're able to sell your thoughts and your ideas, then I think you can come across as someone that people can build trust upon. And that also makes you relatable to people, like sharing your personal experiences and uniquely crafting ways to go around to deliver something that creates a lot of value. And that's something that I tend to do a lot there.
Amazing. And I think you have this calmness in your voice, right? This um, ठहराव, as we say in Hindi. So I think like talking about your strengths, I think most probably if you build content around that, you'll be able to go very far. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
I also see, say, Mohit and Soumya joined. So, Mohit, Soumya, do you want to share your experience? Yes, Mohit.
Yeah, uh, thanks for the opportunity. I have joined first time as a guest. One of your team member has asked me to join, and as I want to improve my conversation, and I have heard this video and two, 3 points that I want to be, but I'm not at all conversationalist. I always talk less whenever there's a group. I'm good at one-to-one speaking, but when it comes to a group, I usually keep quiet. So whenever I have to deliver something, I quickly tell my things and close the matter. If the session is for 15 minutes, I'm able to close in 5 minutes. So I don't build stories. I am not a conversation that I want to be. That's my objective because I'm in an accounts profession and I have to build stories through numbers so that my participant can understand my thing. That's it.
Amazing. Yeah, building story through numbers is a quest like a lot of us in the sphere of corporate or business have, right? So, that's definitely a challenge, a worthy challenge to pursue. Soumya, just checking in, are you there? Or...
Yes, Anshu. So
Yes,
I'm
no.
just listening to the conversations.
Right.
So I wouldn't call myself a conversationalist yet,
Mhm.
but given a chance in the long run, I would want to become one. Also, also one thing which I would want to focus is that I would like to grasp the attention of the listener. That would be my focus.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Thanks for sharing. All right. Hope we had a good learning session. I would like to hand over the stage to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sanskar, to take it away. Over to you, Toastmaster Sanskar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. We were really inspired by that reel, which told us a lot about our, what should I say, traits, conversationalists, storytellers, and what more. Nonetheless, going forward with the meeting today, I have a very cute and a very good topic today with all, which will be relatable to all of us, and I hope it will be fun. And so, doing a drum roll on this, wait. Today's theme for the meeting today. So today's theme is first impressions. So good morning, everyone. My name is Sanskar Mitra. Before I even introduce my topic, each one of you took or formed an opinion of mine. And well, maybe you thought I looked confident. Maybe you thought I looked nervous or well prepared, or maybe nothing. But first impression, you never get a second chance. And that is what is really fascinating about it. Because a first impression is an image we create in our minds and is what we take it in ourselves, is what we take it in the future for the opinions we formed on the person. So sometimes they might not be true. Sometimes they might help a lot in future to knowing a person, and they might even be true. So moving on, people notice our facials, our postures, where I'm sitting at, what my background is, and people take an opinion, which is very important because it forms a person. It forms, should I say, design? It when you're making a conversation, it really helps a lot to have our first impressions. Because really, if I'm going into a conversation and I haven't met this person, I've seen this person from outside uh, through some group meetings or something else. But it really helps a lot when you're going in someone and you try striking a conversation based on his appearance, based on what he might like, on what you are expecting that person to be. So So this is where I get into our questioning today with our guest today as well, because they have really formed an opinion of me, all our members today in the meeting. So Toastmaster Rajiv, what was your first impression of Toastmaster Anshuman while he was speaking? He is our presiding officer for the club today. So Toastmaster Rajiv.
Once again, yeah, thanks. Thanks, Toastmaster Sanskar, for letting me speak on this topic. I found him to be very balanced and outright very open. Um, he was sensible to all the discussions that were happening, and of course, he could understand the uh, different sentiments that may be getting uh, arisen or during the conversations. For the fact that when we were talking about frameworks, everybody had a different sense, where I said I'm confused and he balanced it out well. So it goes for all the other folks. So I find him to be a very balanced person. He's mature and he understands the nuances of the ongoing discussion. So that's what I take of him. That's my take. That's all. Thanks.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajiv, for sharing with us. Soon to be Toastmaster Ram. Would you like to tell your first opinion of me or Anshuman, any of us?
Yeah, I've heard this somewhere that it takes less than 3 seconds to form the first impression of a person. And I would say that since you have rightly mentioned that the first impression is perhaps the last impression, because those impressions you will tend to carry forward while dealing with that individual. if I talk specifically about you, I found you very confident. The way you opened your speech, it was really that gave me a lot of credibility and a lot of clarity of thoughts in there. If I talk about Rajiv, I think he knows himself much better. He is good at analysis. He's not someone who tends to adhere to, but he would definitely pick what he thinks is goes well with him. I think with other individuals as well on the call, I found them really interesting, and yeah, rightly said that first impression matters a lot. It does.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Soon to be Toastmaster Ram. I would like to speak more with our guests today. So we have Toastmaster, soon to be Toastmaster Mohit. Are you with us? Okay. No,
Yes,
no.
yes, I'm
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm here.
So Toastmaster Mohit, what was our first impression? Either Anshuman, either me. Whoever so spoke, you can just form your opinion and tell us.
So I first talked about Anshuman. I like the way he speak, and he's a balanced one. He is able to communicate the things better, how we should start doing the storytelling, what are the steps therein. And he also told everything step by step. He was really calm in speaking and communicating his thoughts to the members. Because this is the thing about Anshuman, because heard about for 5-10 minutes last, so I'm able to speak that much of only about you. And your pronunciation is good, and it looks. My first impression is you are a very good storyteller and conversationalist, and you are have a good hand on English, and you can speak better. That's my first impression of yours. And I do agree with you. The first impression is very important. It goes along with the person, but it also changes as you interact more with that person. So first impression cannot be the last impression, but it's always a relevant one to form the impression for the first time.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mohit, for sharing with us.
Thank you.
Okay, so Toastmaster Soumya, Toastmaster Soumya, yeah.
Yes, yes,
What
yes, I'm
what
here.
was your
I'm
first
here.
impression of me or Anshuman today? Even Vidhu, she also spoke with us, right? So, any of us, would you like to tell your opinion? Hi, Toastmaster Soumya.
Uh, yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I would say everybody is very confident and they're very vocal, and they're giving a lot of insights to the team, which is very helpful going forward as well. There are many key takeaways. I'm grasping few, but some are going way above my head. So yeah, still on the learning curve.
Thank you, Soumya. So, you see, we asked all our guests today for our first impressions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not asking with our members today. I'll ask them if we have time in the meeting today. But I want to ask our guests why, because they had some first impression of us. Maybe people who have also not spoken in the meeting, they kind of saw their background videos, virtual background, saw them as a person, check what they are wearing, even their spectacles or anything which they might relate to. And this is how you also strike a conversation, right? And that is why that's why our brain makes these quick shortcuts in just 3 seconds, like Toastmaster Ram just told us. Our brain just takes a 3 second pause and makes an opinion of someone. And that is how we go into meetings. And when we are first meeting someone, we are first going into an interview. We take a quick opinion of what might the interviewee be expecting with us. Well, that has not gone the best with me. I expected something else, but he expected something. But so, what I'm trying to say is sometimes first impression may help us a lot, but they are not your final opinion. See, when I first moved into Toastmasters, and this is what Toastmaster Nancy, Toastmaster Anshuman, and Toastmaster Vidhu would know, that when I first joined Toastmasters, I fumbled a lot with my speaking. I still fumble, I'm still nervous, but I've improved. Sorry for the background noise. So I still fumble a lot. But improving with time, I've quite known to have my own voice now. I'm able to make a conversation with everybody. And I had never imagined a day where I would be making a conversation with our guest today, and I would be speaking freely with our members even. So with that, I'll move on with our session today. Thank you, guests, thank you, members, and moving on with our speakers today. Toastmaster Anshuman, are you there?
Toastmaster Sanskar, I want to invite the general evaluator, Toastmaster Nancy, to share.
Right. So thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. So I'll be moving on with our rest of the meeting today. Thank you for guests for speaking with us, and Toastmaster Nancy as general evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanskar. Good morning, everyone. As a general evaluator, I will be conducting the evaluation portion of the meeting. In this, I will have a team to assist me for the timer report and the language evaluation. So now I'll be calling on the timer for the meeting. Who will be playing the role of timer? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm playing the role of timer.
Okay. So I'll call Toastmaster Anshuman to tell us about the role of time. Over to you, Toastmaster Anshuman.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Nancy. In a Toastmaster meeting, we are typically timed for our respective roles. For a speech, it's minimum 5 minutes to up to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, one gets a green card. At 6 minutes, yellow card, and at 7 minutes, a red card. But today, we'll be primarily just focusing on the spontaneous speaking, which is the table topic section. In table topic section, we get 2 minutes to speak on a topic given to us. You'll get a green card at 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, you'll get a yellow card, and 2 minutes, you'll get a red card. And you have 30 seconds to wrap up the speech. And for evaluation section, typically for speech evaluation, we have 3 minutes with green card at 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, a yellow card, and 3 minutes, a red card. I look forward to a productive and efficient meeting today. Over to you, Toastmaster Nancy.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. Now I'll be calling to our counter and grammarian. I think Toastmaster Anshuman, you are playing the role of
Vidhu.
Toastmaster. I'll be calling Toastmaster Vidhu for the counter and grammarian role.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nancy. Today I'll be playing the role of language evaluator. I will provide two parts, which is one the counter, which means that I will carefully listen to all the filler words, repeated words, basically, to know and will make a note of it. The second part is around the effective use of English, which means the use of good usages, vocabulary, grammar, and other idioms. Right. Overall, I'm presenting the report on these two formats towards the end of the meeting, and looking forward to a very effective use of the language for looking forward to some of the great usages. The word for today is sacrosanct, and the meaning of the word is too important, sacred, or respected to be changed, criticized, or interfered with. The example is client confidentiality is sacrosanct, and I hope I'm pronouncing the word correctly. And the second example is for him, family time on weekend is sacrosanct. Now, I would request everybody to use this word during their speeches, evaluations, role plays, and I'll keep a note of the usage of the word, and we'll also call it out towards the end of the meeting and by the report. over to you, Toastmaster Nancy, with this.
You're on mute, Toast.
So now I'll be handing over to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sanskar. Back to you.
Well, so ending our TMOD theme, well, we have to make a conclusion with our theme, and which is to know that first impression may be important. They open doors to a conversation and opportunities, but let's make an effort to leave a positive first impression wherever we go. At the same time, let's remember not to let first impression become our final judgment, because a first impression may introduce a person, but only time, conversations, and characters reveal who they truly are. And that is it for me today. Thank you. You have been a lovely guests and members today. And sincerely speaking, I've made, and also my last conclusion, which is I also made a first opinion when I first joined Toastmasters of Toastmaster Anshuman, Toastmaster Vedu, Toastmaster Nancy. I made an impression that, and I made an impression of Toastmasters that there may be working people from corporate job, from business households, and any other various uh, sectors there are. I thought to myself, as a college undergraduate, what is there I could offer to Toastmasters? I mean, I had to make communication right, but also like, what can I do to strike out more from these people? So, which is I'm still knowing to getting to know, and this was my first impression. Coming to a Toastmaster like a communication platform where I'll have to start speaking, I never imagined. I I didn't even want to go into. My father pushed me a lot into getting into this, and also something which I also kind of getting into because see, at the end of the day, as an adult, I have to make conversations. I have to be a part of the world and I have to move along. So in the end, communication is an integral part of our life today as we speak, and something which moving forward to the corporate world, and I aspire to have a job, a safe job. So um, conversation is really an important thing, and which was my first opinion of Toastmasters. And that is it. Moving on with our meeting today. We have table topic session today with us, and Toastmaster Satyaked, our greatest table topic master which I have ever spoken. So, Toastmaster Satyaked, please.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sanskar, for such a warm welcome. And good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. Technically, it's good morning for each one of us. Welcome to this amazing session of the table topics of this weekend. So today, since we don't have your prepared speeches, we have a very interesting session on table topics. But let me clarify as to what table topics is for the benefit of the guests. Imagine yourself, you are at a conference, or you are at your morning meeting of your with your team, or imagine yourself at the other end of the interview table where you are being interviewed for a position, be it fresh out of college, or be it to a new company, or to your new role in your own company. So you are thrown off some questions which might take you away from what you have known. So how do you challenge yourself? How do you put yourself in that shoes? How do you prepare yourself? This is what table topics does, ladies and gentlemen. This is about how you think on your feet and then create a story and create a narrative out of it. So for that, we have 2 minutes to narrate your story, to put your views forward to the guests and to your audience. So these topics are inspired by time, technology, and sometimes with our own day-to-day activities. So I request each of the speakers to relate to use their 2 minutes to narrate a story which is coherent to the audience. So imagine yourself as the audience, what they would like to hear. So with that, the typical timings of a table topics is 2 minutes. You have to speak at least for 1 minute to be qualified, and you can maximum speak for 2.5 minutes. With that, let me get on with the topics for the day. For the first victim of the day, I would like to invite one, some of the experienced one, such that all of your guests would get to know how to speak upon. For that, I would like to invite Toastmaster Anshuman to take up the first topic.
Yes, sure. Or do you want to invite someone who's not got
Okay, let me.
such a high speaking?
Yeah, totally. I
We have
get it.
Toastmaster Bob, like Toastmaster Vaibhav is here. So
Okay, let me go for Toastmaster Vaibhav. So, Toastmaster Vaibhav, can we have you?
Toastmaster Bob, do you want to take up a table topic?
Yes. Hi.
Hi, Toastmaster Vaibhav. So, your topic is
Toastmaster, yeah.
Psychologists say it takes only 7 seconds for someone to form a first impression of you. If you only had 7 seconds to convey your core values to a stranger without speaking a word, how would you do it? So, psychologists say it takes only 7 seconds for someone to form a first impression of you. If you only had 7 seconds to convey your core values to a stranger without speaking a word, only through actions, how would you do it? You may use the first introductions, but then you can go forward with that. Over to you, Toastmaster Baron.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. That's 7 seconds. So as you mentioned, psychologists or the research been done, which says that we mostly form our first impression about a person within the first 7 seconds. 7 seconds during a table topic session could feel like eternity, and other times 7 seconds just passes by. For me to be able to portray myself to a stranger in 7 seconds without speaking a word, it's like random people that we meet on the street. When you're walking to a store, when you're going for shopping, you pass by random individuals and you form an opinion about them. Oh, this person looks tidy, or this person looks angry, or this person um, just looking at that person, you have this impression that the person is not very welcoming. So for me to portray what I am, it's very important that I'm well put together when I'm out in the public. I have at least, if not a smiling face, have a neutral face. So no like that angry kind of a facial expression. Being smiling at people. So whenever you cross path with anybody, you have this smile on your face. This is something that I love about the Europeans. Like when you actually just meet them randomly, they will always smile back or they'll smile at you. So that just gives you a positive feeling, a positive vibe. So having that first 7 seconds to have that, giving them a positive impression is very, very important, and having that just that put together, well sorted out set get up really helps. So that's my take on the topic. Thank you very much. Back to you, table topic master.
Well, fantastic. That's indeed pretty much for all of us, Toastmaster Vaibhav. Moving forward with the next table topic, I would request Toastmaster guest Rajiv to take up a topic. Are you up for it?
Take up any topic?
Yeah, I'll be providing you with the topic, and you'll have 2
All right.
minutes to speak on it.
Sure. We try.
Okay. Okay. So, Toastmaster Rajiv, guest Rajiv, think back on the very first day of your professional career. What was the first impression you wanted to project to the world back then? And how was your definition of a good impression evolved over those few years, over the entire set of years? Think back to the very first day of your professional career. What was the first impression you wanted to project to the world back then? And how has your definition of a good impression evolved over the decades? Toastmaster Raj, or guest Rajiv, over to you.
Thank you for allowing me to speak on this topic. I would put it this way. When I started my career and joined the organization, my only hope was that I get into the organization. In those days, when you go to apply for a job, you're one among the 200, 300 people in the queue. So the idea was to get into the organization and then start with anything what the owner or your manager instructs you to do. You had no thought, you had no idea how the world is going to be out there, and you just wanted to do as you are told. You were a robot, and the instructions came in, and then you processed it, and then started working on it. What would I do differently today? Had I known how the world behaves or how things happen in a corporate institution, I would have prepared myself. Just like Sanskar, I would have joined a Toastmaster, understood how to speak well, do things in a better way, and then carried myself forward. This would have left a better impression about myself. Also, how you dress, how you eat, how you transact with different people at different levels are the finishing school aspects that I would have liked to know. Having said that, past is past. Today, I make sure that when I go to an institution or talk with anybody, I dress to the occasion, I speak with in a tone and in a manner that resonates with that audience, and I make sure that I have enough subject knowledge that I can contribute to the discussion as an active member. This is the difference that I would make given the date today. Had I known this in the past, it would have been different for me then. With that, I conclude. Thanks.
Well, that's a very interesting take, yes, Rajiv, and very rightly and very confidently in a very structured way you put it. And I'm sure that all of us resonate with the points that you mentioned. A couple of the veterans, a couple of the experienced one will definitely resonate, and some of us who are right now about to start is something that we would like to learn from your table topic speech. Thank you very much, guest Rajiv. Interesting take. For the next victim or the next opportunities, should I say, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Nancy. Okay, so Toastmaster Nancy, in software and app development, user onboarding is all about first-time user experience. tell us or imagine a situation where about a product, app, or a piece of tech that gave you a terrible first experience or the first impression, but now you cannot live without it. In software and app development, user onboarding is uh, all about the first time user experience. Tell us about a product, app, or a piece of tech that gave you a terrible first impression, but now you can be absolutely in love with it and you cannot live without it. Toastmaster Nancy.
Okay. So you're talking about any application or a person?
Application or a product, tech product.
Okay. That's not an application, I would say. I'll talk about the technology everyone is using these days. I think 1.5 year, it's been 1.5 year now. I was struggling to create a very impressive PPT that we had to show to our leadership. And that time, my husband told me to use ChatGPT. That was the first time I could, I knew, I think it's been 1.5 years around that only. That time I saw that it was so helpful to create the content there, because earlier we used to struggle to write the mail to senior leadership. We used to think a lot that how I mean, each and every line and word we had to read it again and again. So ChatGPT was the one which I used for the first time, and it saved my time a lot. First time I was a little hesitant because I had never seen that technology before. But when I used it, it was so useful. And after that, I mean, life was so easy for each one of us. So that was the one application or technology, I would say, uh, which saved our time a lot, and blessing to us, I would say, in our technology or in every organization. That's all. Back to you, Toastmaster Satyajit.
All right. I'm sure this ChatGPT has become an invincible part of our life for each, not ChatGPT, but any sort of AI has become an invincible part for each one of us in our lives, but probably it's also taking up the roles in taking up the tasks in our work as well. So essentially, even I am conducting this meet with the help of a lot of AI, especially the topics. And this is something that ChatGPT or AI has helped us a lot. And moving forward with the next opportunity, rather, instead of a victim, is a difficult word, that's you, but let's look at it this way. The next opportunity for the guest. Okay, Toastmasters, your guest, Mohit, correct? Am I audible? Are you there, guest Mohit? Okay. What about guest Soumya? Are you there?
Yes, Satyajit.
Great. So would you like to take up the next topic?
Sure.
Absolutely. Great. Love the spirit. Okay, fine. This is an interesting and operative take. Guest Soumya, we are always told that don't judge a book by its cover. Share a time of your life when your initial first impression of a person, a city, or a job was completely and entirely wrong. We are always told that don't judge a book by its cover. Share a time in your life when your first impression of a person or a city or a job was completely and entirely wrong. Yes, Soumya.
Sure. Sure, Satyaki. So, so I I work in IT. Okay, I am into this domain called project management, and I am from a city called Vijayawada, which is again part of Andhra Pradesh. Given that, I always had a false presumption that people who hail from villages, you know, uh, they do not tend to get good education. That is what my impression was. But later, over a period of time when I got married, and my husband is from a village. Okay, and it's like the coastal region as well. And when I went there, and I started interacting with the folks, and I was stunned, and I was stumbled as well, because I got to know that most of them you'll not believe, Satyakit and rest of the folks, everybody, like I believe there are 150 families in that particular village, and most of them were educated, and most of them were into IITs, and most of them are doing very good jobs, and in one of the best corporate companies like Bank of America, like that. And I was very surprised to know that uh, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. And also it's that people usually look the way how you dress up. That is first thing, no matter what. That is how people are treating nowadays, like how you dress up, how well you look, how well you present yourself. And that is one thing which I tend to look in other people as well. But the false presumption which I had in my mind, was cleared up when I got to know the fact that people out there are very simple in villages, even though they had acres of land. But still you know later I realized that's not the case. And yeah.
All right, that's a fantastic take, yes, Soumya, and very well structured. Put it in a very well structured manner, and I'm sure we also relate to it in some sort. Even if sometimes it's city, sometimes it's the organization that we work for. It's about it's sometimes the people as well. So it's a great learning for each one of us. Moving forward, before I go to the next topic, I would also encourage each one of the speakers to use the word of the day, which is sacrosanct. And it's there in the uh, chat box. Uh, just a reminder. Moving forward with the next topic, I would like to invite Toastmaster Sanskar. Okay, so Toastmaster Sanskar, imagine you walk into a high stakes job interview and the interviewer accidentally spills a hot cup of coffee all of your resume within the first 10 seconds. How would you handle the situation to ensure that you still leave a stellar impression? Imagine you walk into a high stakes job interview and the interviewer accidentally spills a hot cup of coffee all over your resume within the first 10 seconds. How do you handle the situation uh, such that you leave a stellar impression? Toastmaster Sanskar.
So suppose I walk into a high stakes job interview and the interviewee just spills the coffee over my resume. I like to first advertise myself and make an impression out of that. Because well, if not for the resume, then I have to just show and demonstrate him like what can I do, what skills, whichever skills I have written in my resume, what so good way to so most of the interviews which I know is that they look at the resume for like which I know. in my mind is that most of the interviews just look at your resume for 10-15 seconds. If they find something striking, then only they'll kind of delve into it. Rest, they have a lot of candidates, and that's why they don't look at the resume. And this is where you have to demonstrate yourself and show yourself out there and what you can do, and answer their questions honestly and skillfully, to your best, and also, so something which you can also do is you can move the conversation to your best side. uh, so for example, some topic which I know, they might try to question me something, and I'll try to distract them from that place to something else, a relatively easy topic, and wherever I can excel, and try to make a first impression out of that. So, yes, answering your question, Toastmasters Certificate, that is my answer. You have to demonstrate yourselves, and most of the interviews do not look at your resume. Just for 15 seconds, if they find something striking, that is where they delve into the resume. I think they have a lot of candidates on their hands and tables, so you have to show yourselves out there, and that is my answer. Thank you, Toastmasters Certificate.
Well, interesting take, Toastmasters Sanskar, and I'm sure that this is something that we would, I mean, all of us we would be at a crossroads as to what to go for the next step. So, is there anyone left?
Guess Ram, did you take up a topic? I don't think.
No, not yet. Yeah.
Yes, okay. Guest round. Okay, fine. Here's a topic for you, guest round. Guest round. While the internet can be noisy, it also connects us across the oceans. For example, this Toastmasters meet right now. Share a positive story of a great first impression you made or completely received online up to this point. Whether a thoughtful email or a project or even an online meet. So we would love to hear it. While the internet can be noisy, it also connects us across the oceans. Share a positive story of a great first impression that you made or received completely online up to this point. Guest round.
Thank you, Toastmaster Satyake. That's such an incredible topic. It gives me a food for thought to think about how internet was invented in the first place. Like, man believed that innovation was the only thing that necessity can bring up, and we definitely needed internet to come up. My experience with internet was probably boomed back in 2015 or 16 when Geo was launched, and I get to discover the side of the world that was unseen, unheard of. I mean, we are always limited by the depth of our own imagination, wherein we visualize things that are known to us, but we don't get to know what's out there. Like, I've heard that 90% of the oceans are unexplored. So once they are explored, we can all see the fascinating discoveries that man can make for themselves. That is something that I've learned through internet as well. And I would also say that internet, perhaps the usage in both workspaces and in our personal spaces has become more sacrosanct. With the days that we move forward to, we are getting opportunity to connect with each other, share ideas, have good conversations. If anything, internet has brought us more and more closer, and they have just reduced the geographical limitations and boundaries that man has set for themselves. I think internet is perhaps the living oil and fuel of the modern world, and if anything, that should be uh, uh, like celebrated and protected going forward. Yeah, thank you.
That's an interesting take, Gestra, and fantastically went on for the entire duration of your table topic. And something that I would also encourage that integrate some of your own personal stories into the speeches that will entice the audience as well. And I think Toastmaster Mohit is done. Anyone else?
Vidhu, Toastmaster Vidhu.
Yeah, Toastmaster Vidhu is there. Okay. Toastmaster Vidhu. Okay. Toastmaster Vidhu. Think of a mentor, a teacher, or a leader you deeply admire. What was your very first impression of them, and how did the initial spark go into a lasting relationship of guidance and respect? Think of a mentor, teacher, or leader you deeply admire. What was the very first impression of them, and how did that initial spark grow and evolve into a lasting relationship of guidance and respect? Toastmaster Vidhu.
Thank you, Toastmasters of the Gate. My first mentor in corporate life. We have so many mentors across different domains, be it personal life, for different kind of activities we choose to, our mentors. But when we say mentor, for me, there is one person who actually interviewed me in my first corporate job. So when I entered the organization, he was the same person who interviewed me. He was also my super boss. He used to lead a team of 300 people, and I used to always think, how is he managing? Because he used to always keep smiling, roaming around, chit chatting with even the juniorest level resources there in the organization. So I used to always wonder how he managed. Is it like his entire project is an autopilot mode? And I would always feel fascinated the way he was such a people person and had such a great relation, be it in terms of client, be it in terms of vendor. So always the one thing which I look up to him was how to balance out in the pressuring situation and how to always be so calm. And over a period of time, he left the organization. He has started his own set startup after like spending 20 years into corporate. And then he started off with a very unconventional journey to become a property dealer. And from a very corporate of an investment bank came to becoming a dealer is a completely different domain. But he then also proved in like 5-7 years he has made it crores and millions of business already. He has expanded his team from 2 to 30, 40, and now 200. So I think he has always been the guiding principle for me throughout. And always irrespective, now we are not in talking, like I don't conversate much, but through his journey he keeps inspiring so many people. So that is the one mentor which I always look up to for even the guidance when non-verbal communication, without non-verbal communication as well, he keeps aspiring us. With this, back to you, Toastmaster.
We all have the first and lasting impression of our first mentors when we start working. In fact, it's a bridge that they gap for each one of us after we graduate from college. And essentially, that's something that we should all take and be grateful for it. Thank you, Toastmaster Vidhu, for your take. We have Toastmaster Anshuman, who is left. Are you
Right.
Yes. So let me time Toastmaster, or will you be able to time Toastmaster Anshuman?
Yeah, all good.
Okay, great, fantastic. Okay. Toastmaster Anshuman, imagine every single person walk around with a search bar floating over their head, showing the last three things they Googled. How would this radically change the first impressions we form of each other? And would it make the world a better place or a worse place? Imagine every single person walked around the search bar, floating over their head, showing the last three things they Googled. How would this radically change the first impressions we form of each other? And will it make the world a better place or a worse place? Toastmaster Anshuman.
Which is the best place to buy this beautiful cloth? Where can I get this gadget from? Where do I visit next? Is it Kerala? Is it Rajasthan? Or is it Kashmir? If I view all these searches on each of our heads day in and day out, in this day of instant judgments and we being pre-wired, as we discussed, to judge anyone within 7 seconds, my mind and heart might go into instant judgment, especially if the topic of search is not aligned to being normal. Initially, when this feature launches, that I'm able to see Satyaket, Vidhu, Ram, Rajiv's searches on their head, then I might be biased to judge instantaneously. Oh my God, this person is searching for this person is searching for that. But eventually, as things settle down, maybe I might reflect and take a step back that this is recent and that might be inspired by some kind of inspiration the person might have had, and then maybe dive into more depth of connection. So those searches I might take as a medium of small talk. So if I see Satyaket searching for the best tea available in the market recently, I might start with, "Hey Satyaket, what are you drinking of late? Tea, coffee, or some other spirit of choice?" So maybe he might talk about tea, then go into market, and then that might be a good small talk conversation. So if I keep it at small talk, it might be healthy. But if I start judging someone based on the recent searches, it might lead to a connection which I would have lost. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Okay, thanks, Toastmaster Anshuman. You really nailed the table topics, and essentially, this is an insight that probably each one of us, as Toastmasters or as powerful communicators, would want to embrace the idea that we get to know how or what the person in front of us wants to know, wants out of it. So great, thanks. Thanks, Toastmaster Anshuman. And we are done with the table topics session. Covered
We
everyone.
have someone joining right in time who's a master of table topics, who's Toastmaster Mayank. So if you
Okay, here we have Toastmaster Mayan. Okay.
want to
So,
share quite a challenging topic, a topic nobody can answer.
yes.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Toastmaster Mayank.
Hello, how are you?
I'm
For
great.
today?
I'm just about to give you a topic. Just a moment. Okay. Okay. Toastmaster Mayank, you step into an elevator with a global CEO or investors you've been dreamed of meeting. You exactly have 30 seconds, rather 2 minutes to pitch yourself, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes to pitch yourself. Suddenly, the elevator gets stuck between the floors. How do you pivot the conversation to build a genuine connection instead of just selling a pitch? You step into an elevator with a global CEO or investor you've dreamed of meeting. You exactly 30 seconds to pitch yourself, but suddenly the elevator gets stuck and you have this great opportunity to build a genuine connection instead of just selling a pitch. How would you go about it, Toastmaster Mayank?
Mr. Das, it's a pleasure to meet you. I am Mayank Agarwal and a fellow chartered accountant, and it's been a pleasure to see your success. And I follow your path, and it's an opportunity and a great. And oh my God, what happened? Oh, seems the lift is stuck and giving us an opportunity to spend some more time here. So let me introduce myself to you, sir. I am a chartered accountant. I've been working in the field of risk and consulting, and I've seen your financial reports that are published online, and there are certain teething troubles that I think are the bottlenecks for you, which is limiting your company's growth and potential. I believe you need a person like me in your team who can tell you bluntly, truthfully, what the issue is in your organization, where are you leaking your revenues and your cost increasing. I come with an experience of what 20 years across the world, travel in 4 continents. Of course, Antarctica is something that I have not been, and I don't intend to go either. But with that kind of an experience and having worked with fellow people in organizations like my Toastmaster Vidhu is from EY, Mohit, I know him personally pretty well in the past as well. So all of this adds to the experience, and I'm sure we will get opportunity and great environment, an opportunity to work with you. It will be a great learning experience for both of us. And on that note, see, the lift has also started working. I think we are perfectly in the right time on this. Thank you so much and look forward for meeting you and working with you ahead.
Wow, that's a fantastic take, Toastmaster Mayank. And I hope that you get stuck and you're prepared with this particular elevator speech in that elevator. With that, we are done with the table topic session, and I would like to hand the stage back over to the team on Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Mayank. Toastmaster Sanskar, I'm sorry. Toastmaster Sanskar.
Well, due to consideration of time, I've already said my part of the meeting today, and I would like to now move on to agenda for the meeting today. Toastmaster Nancy. Toastmaster Nancy on mute.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanskar. For the as part of general evaluation, for the timings, we started on time, 10:30 we started. Meeting agenda was available well in advance. The topic of the day, impressions, was very interesting. Thanks to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sanskar, for bringing up this topic in our meeting. And the first impression is has a quite power. Once we make an impression for someone due to genuine reasons, it's hard to break. Even if we don't have that best moments with him or not perfect moment, we try to find the reasons. We don't want to change the impression, but we want to find the reasons behind that moment. So it has such a powerful, I mean, this is such a powerful I would say thing. Yeah. And beside that, Toastmaster members of our team welcome the guests as well. So it was good. And okay, we will talk about guest at the end. Now I will call upon on my team timer of the day, Toastmaster Anshuman.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Nancy.
Yeah.
I think I had an easy time as a timer today because all the speakers, be it Toastmaster Bob, Toastmaster Sundu, Toastmaster Rajiv, Nancy, Soumya, Sanskar, Ram, Vidhu, Mayank, almost touched the 2-minute mark, which is unheard of but I think all of us utilized the stage today to be within the 1 minute 45 minutes 45 seconds to the 2 minute mark range. So I had a pretty easy day in the office today. So thank you everyone for utilizing the platform so well. Over to you, Toastmaster Nancy.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. Now I would like to call our language evaluator, Toastmaster Vidhu.
Let me show my screen.
Yeah.
From a language evaluator standpoint, we had a very strong and effective use of language today. Broadly, there was a quite rich use of vocabulary and idioms were used. In terms of the filler words, I would like to call upon in terms of the table topics. We had the first table topic from Pepper. Use 7 times one long pause. So we had Rajiv. I hope you can. Okay. We had Rajiv as the second speaker, 2 times Nancy 3 times and 1 time I think, I mean. Soumya 2 times you know, okay was used 2 times and yeah, 1 time. Sanskar 4 times 1 time 1 time you know, and 1 long pause was there. Ram, I could not see any of the filler words. Anshuman, I heard 1 time and Mayank also 1 time. In terms of the good usages, we had eternity, finishing school, past is past, hail, stunned, stellar impression, radically changed. These were some good usages in the meeting. In terms of the improvement areas, we had 2 phases around that only. We can avoid using only, or maybe we can rephrase it. We can rephrase it as around that, simply around that, instead of calling out only towards the end. The second one is show yourself out there. So it could be put yourselves out there. So these were the 2 improvement areas, and the word of the day was used once by Ram and once by Satyakit to point out the usages of 10% word. Overall, it was quite an effective meeting. Kudos to all the members who tried to infuse more of vocab and great usages. Back to you, Toastmaster Nancy.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vidhu, for sharing the detailed report. And now I would like to call our guests for their feedbacks. To be Toastmaster Ram. Any feedback? What did you like?
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me forward to express my feedback. I think it was my first ever session of Toastmasters. This platform was not new to me. I've heard the world champions speaking, Dhananjay, Hitachi, and many more. I've heard them. And ever since I heard them, I was really fascinated of the platform that Toastmasters provide to young aspirants like ourselves who look forward to learning from each other, improvising on a day-to-day basis. I also found a friend now, Mayank. I am a fellow CA, so nice to meet you. I think this platform really connects a lot of ideas, a lot of people. Uh, and if there are key takeaways that I would want to take back as part of my learning, were I would really like to thank Satyaket. Those topics were really incredible. Like those were mind bending. They uh, stood the test of time, and that really made us think through our feet. Um, to the evaluators, I think your evaluation was really incredible. Like throughout, you called out the filler words, which are very important for us to improve our public speaking with the other members and the Toastmasters who have spoken on the stage. I think I learned a lot from you, like the way you express yourself. And I think when there are different ideas that come together, you take back just the learnings with yourself. So I would definitely look forward to meeting you all in person. I would love to join more such sessions. Yeah, looking forward. Thank you.
Thank you to be Toastmaster Ram. Now our next guest is to be Toastmaster Mohit. Any thoughts, any feedback you want to share?
Yeah, this is the first time I have ever joined this Toastmaster, and it was through Mayank. Mayank has given me the opportunity to join this session. The last 2 weeks, he's forwarding me a link, but due to some travel plan, I'm not able to join. But really, I like this concept. Earlier, I was in the assumption that these are only the physical session is happening for the Toastmaster, but from his side, I came to know it's the online session as well. And I really like that concept. The people speaking on the spot, the topic were given on the spot, and you have to make your mind and tell your knowledge on those topics. And it is very useful for everyone who want to improve their skills on conversational and want to have a storytelling kind of a thing. That is very important. Really, I like this concept. I really want to join this Toastmaster to improve myself. Thank you.
Thank you to be Toastmaster Mohit for sharing your thoughts. Now I would like to invite to be Toastmaster Rajiv for your feedbacks.
Thank you, Nancy. It was a great session. I especially was fond of the cohesiveness between the team and the organization skills to make this happen. The group being small or large doesn't matter. It's just how it gets organized, being timely, being articulate, keeping the time, giving the feedback. All these things makes this group very invigorating. Sorry, I'm not able to pronounce that properly, but um, I think it adds up that particular stamina or juice that makes everybody wake up to the call and learn. So thank you, all of you. It was a great session.
Thank you to be Toastmaster Rajiv. Our next guest is to be Toastmaster Soumya.
Yes, Nancy.
Yeah, we would like
So,
to know your feedback.
okay. So this is my second session. I missed the last weekend session.
Okay.
It was very insightful. I feel that I met my group of people, like-minded. Actually, I was meaning to find this group, but I didn't come across. But uh, given that I came across one of the posts on LinkedIn, and I realized, this is where I'll have to uh, build my skills. And I'm
Yeah,
lucky, glad that I realized now, and I found this forum. So yeah, that is all.
thank you to be Toastmaster Soumya. We would like all of you to be part of our team.
Thank you.
And who is left? To be Toastmaster Samod.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Samod.
Thank
Any
you for
feedback?
inviting me. Yeah, definitely. So, first of all, I'm not a new Toastmaster. I
Okay.
am a distinguished Toastmaster, and I've been a member of this club also. I think you were not there. But I love to see my friend here, Mayank, Kaisi, Anshuman, and then other also. So unfortunately, I could not join at the beginning, but I joined when the evaluation segment was going on. I love the way you handle the evaluation as a general evaluator and all the auxiliary role players presented the report. I love the meeting. I love whenever I get a chance to come visit this club, I always come and listen and just enjoy the meeting. So definitely would love to come back on time next time. Till then,
Yeah, would be
happy
great.
weekend, everyone.
I saw you for the first time. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Samod. I think we are done with the feedbacks as well. Now I would like to hand over. I think we're done.